Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the regular meeting of February 6th, 2024, meeting of the Board of Supervisors. This is the 2 p.m. session. Board to reconvene. First item is roll call.
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Next is a report on actions taken in closed session. I'm going to turn to Kendra Graham, our County Counsel.
Thank you. Good afternoon. This morning, your board met in closed session on items 39 through 44. There were no reportable actions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda and the opportunity for public comment. All items with a CA or a C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. The CA represents the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. The C represents the consent agenda for the Kern Sanitation Authority or the Taft Heights Sanitation District or the IHSS Public Authority. We can act on all those items all in one motion. This is the time for anyone who would like to make a comment on any of those items. Only a board member can remove those for separate consideration. Let me tell you what those are. It starts on page 2 of the afternoon agenda, and it consists of items 3 and 4 on page 2, all the items on page 3, 5 through 7, and there is a change to the recommendation. So on item 6, please strike everything that is in capital letters. Strike all of that, and the new recommendation is to continue to Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 at 2 p.m. Page 4, items 8 through 13. Page 5, items 14 through 19. Page 6, items 20 through 26. Page 7, items 31 through 34. Page 8, items 35 through 42, and page 9, items 43 through 49. Now, there's a rather lengthy change to item 3. That's the very first one on the consent agenda on page 2. I'm going to ask our county counsel to read those changes into the record before we take any action on that.
Yes, thank you. So item 3 will now read, protest hearing on proposed confirmation of, and we are going to insert the word corrected so that it reads protest hearing on proposed confirmation of corrected costs, and then skipping down to the fiscal impact. The remaining of that will stay the same until we get to fiscal impact. We will replace $6,558.08 with a lower amount of $6,277.68. And then the language will stay the same until we get to the portion that reads receive and file report. It will now read receive and file report, adopt resolution superseding resolution 2023-266, adopted on October 10th, 2023, confirming corrected costs incurred by the county for work performed to abate public nuisance on subject property. The remaining language will stay the same.
Thank you. So with those corrections, I'll now open it up for the public to make any comment on any item on the consent agenda. Please come forward, state your name, and proceed. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Diana Mireles. I'm a community organizing with Center Race Power and Environmental and also president of the Comité Progreso de Lamont. I'm just here talking about the item 21. Just want to say thank you for all the changes that we do and that you guys do for my community in Lamont. We work closely with Vermont too. It's not just only the county parks. is the district parks. They need a lot of help. My committee, we donate some money for the park because they need it. So, and thank you because you focus, like again, not just only on the county, but just those special districts. And thank you because this is our goal, to see those parks more affordable for the kids. And not even the kids, my husband said before he passed away, is the elders too. I need to walk on those parks too. I need to go on my scooter on those parks. So that's our goal, to make those parks beautiful for the community. Thank you in the name of CRPE and the Comité Progreso de Lemon. Thank you.
Thank you. We miss him. Thank you very much for being here. Any other comments on the consent agenda today? Seeing none, I return to the board for questions, comments, or action.
Motion on consent.
Chairman Couch, if I could.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Supervisor Peters.
I would like to ask that we pull 31 and 32 off of the consent agenda and consider those separately, please.
So is the motion is now to consider the consent agenda, so yes motion on the consent agenda with separate consideration for 31 and 32.
I'll make that motion.
All right,
Second.
please cast your votes.
Supervisor Flores, can you reconfirm your vote? Thank you. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, that takes us back to the top of page 2, item 1, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on the agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board. We try to keep our comment or limit our comments to 2 minutes. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Yes, sir.
This is my measly 2-minute talk to the board.
If you'd like to give us any further comments in writing, you could give them to the clerk, and we would promise you that we would read them.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Andrew Hensel, Hensel. I feel you have been receiving bad election advice from your election expert. And the worst advice you've received so far, worse than bloating the budget and worse than buying the wrong cameras, is advising the county to buy into these flawed voting machines and then tripling down on a 3-year contract. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to review the nasty history of these machines, and I'll go step by step how we went from a secure voting system done in 1 day, done in person, done with paper ballots and hand counted, and then using the excuse of a COVID emergency, we went into an insecure system that takes weeks to complete and takes enough mail-in ballots to reach the stratosphere. I'll go over the many myths regarding these machines, the main one being that they are air-gapped like my cell phone and cannot be remotely accessed to alter count results. As a citizen, I would love to hear the arguments for using voting machines instead of paper ballots. Do they save money? No. Are they more accurate? No. Easier to audit? No. Harder to cheat? No. Faster to count? No. Because I can think of only one reason, and it's not on the list. I would like to be wrong. My following talks will contain references to all of my statements, which you will receive. And I doubt if I will pull anything from ABC, NBC, or CBS, et cetera, because they all have the same marching orders. And if the mass media is all you watch, then this will all be new information to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hensel.
Good afternoon. My name is Ralph Robles. That's R-O-B-L-E-S, and I am a veteran. And first order is that I humbly correct myself. This morning I referred to a hapless prison guard named Schwartz. In truth, his name was Sergeant Schultz. Now, a few months back, in discussing these voting systems and their many deficiencies. Ms. Perez said she had never seen any evidence showing said deficiencies. I would like to propose a challenge to this board that you put on the agenda a period not limited to 2 minutes in which a group of us can arrange for the experts to come here and present that evidence to you. I think you will be amazed at how much hard evidence is actually out there. There are cases ongoing right now, for example, in Georgia, in which a security expert has shown that the Dominion machines can actually be hacked with a ballpoint pen. Not only that, they can be reprogrammed with a $100 card that's available on the internet. These are items that cannot be shown and proven in a 2-minute limit. They have to be presented in a cohesive, discoordinated manner with materials and backup documentation. So if you want to actually see the truth of what's going on, you're going to have to allow the people that have come to you for over a year now to present this material to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robles. I'll be in touch. Any other public statements today? Seeing none, we'll go to board member announcements or reports. Seeing none, I think that takes us to the items that were pulled off for separate consideration. Can we hear those concurrently, but vote separately, or can we vote on them together? How do you want to handle that?
You can hear them concurrently or separately. It's your prerogative.
Okay. Supervisor Peters pulled those off, so I'll go to him for your comments or questions.
Thank you, Chairman. These are both contracts with our state and federal lobbyists, and I've had some concerns with some of the lobbying efforts that we've seen. I've had some opportunities to work with other firms other than who are mentioned on this list, and I've seen just a drastic level of difference in the two. I think especially right now with Kern County just continuously being in the crosshairs of the state of California, it's more imperative now than ever that we have effective, aggressive representation at the state and federal level. And so it would be my recommendation that we go out to an RFP and see if there are any other firms that are interested, what type of services they could provide, what type of costs we would incur for that. I would like to ask our CAO, how long have we had these firms as our representatives in these capacities?
So I'm going to, I believe the answer to that is we're issued for a 3-year term with 2 1-year extensions. And there was an RFP process that resulted in the contracts that are before you today. So I'm looking to my staff, that's correct. So a 3-year initial term with 2 1-year extensions. If the board is not pleased with the service that they're getting through these particular lobbyists, we'd be happy to take direction to proceed with an RFP process. Because both of these contracts expire in February of this year, and we do have some important matters of legislation both at the state and federal level that we need to keep track on, I would recommend that your board at least approve a 6-month extension to the existing agreements to allow staff time to immediately issue an RFP and bring the results of that back to your board for consideration.
Okay. Well, my question, not just necessarily this contract length, how long have they represented us in those capacities? I mean, did they represent us before the most recent RFP?
I'm gonna ask our Chief Legislative Officer, Thomas Brown, to address your board on some of the specifics regarding these two contracts.
Supervisor Peters through the chair. Carpy and Clay is our federal lobbyist. They've represented us since 2012, and then Shaw, Yoder, Antwi, Schmelzer, and Lang have represented us since 2015. So it's 12 years and 9 years, respectively.
Okay.
For some perspective, our previous state lobbyist was Peterson Consulting, and they represented us from 2006 to 2014, so that was also a 9-year term.
Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, I mean, initially, my thought, and I appreciate the fact that we need to be represented on these issues, but I don't get phone calls, I don't get emails, I don't get updates, I don't get asked to go and speak on these issues. As far as I'm concerned, we're not getting representation right now. I think that there's an imperative need that we go out and look for another firm that can come in and represent these issues. But I'll stop there for now. I see Supervisor Scribner's punched in, and I'd like to hear if there are any other thoughts from my colleagues on the board.
Supervisor Scribner.
Thank you, Chairman Couch, and thank you, Supervisor Peters, for bringing this issue up. I think it certainly is appropriate for us to discuss it. I know that we went out for an RFP. We looked at 20 firms in 2019. This contract extension is requesting a 1-year extension. Mr. Zervis, you just recommended at least a 6-month in order for us to continue to have some representation up there. I'm speaking on the Yoder firm, the state lobbyist contract. And so if we do go out for an RFP, how long would we expect that to go? And would a 6-month period of time be enough in order to do another RFP where we'd be considering somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 firms and having a panel of administrators that evaluate the proposals and select and do the selection process? How long do you envision that happening? Is this something that can happen in a 6-month period of time, or is there a need for more or less time?
Yes, Supervisor Scribner through the chair. 6 months should be plenty of time. I think we can have a 3-month process and probably a month to get contracts negotiated and proposed to the board. So I would hope to be able to be back before the board in about 4 months with the results of that RFP. If that's the direction of the board and we're directed to issue that RFP as soon as possible, we're looking at I'm estimating a 4 to 6 month term to have that back before your board.
So then would you be recommending we go from February 25, 2024 to July 25, 2024? Is that about 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll defer to Supervisor Peters since he brought the issue up on what timeline he'd like to propose to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Scribner. I think, again, it's imperative that we move as fast as possible, but if you're saying that that's the fastest we can get it done, I'd be amenable to that, and I would just say that my motion would be that we approve through July 2024, but that we direct staff to return as soon as possible with, or to issue an RFP as soon as possible and return to the board with that.
Yep, Supervisor Peters through the chair, just one clarification point. So that would be 5 months, and that takes us through the end of July, if I'm doing my math right. So,
Forget it.
so 6 months would be the end of August, and we will move expeditiously through the process and get options before your board as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
So does this motion and recommendation apply to both items?
That would be my motion.
Okay. Can we do that all in one motion?
It looks like the proposals from staff are both from currently February 25, 2024 through the same date, 2025. So they're on the same timeline.
That's correct. You can do it in one motion. I would suggest, though, that you also include authorization for the CAO to sign the agreements if they're going to make that change in the amendment. Otherwise, it would have to come back again to your board for signature.
Okay. You include that in the motion?
I'll include that in the motion. Thank you.
So we have a motion. I don't think we had a second yet, though, did we?
Second.
We have a second? Please cast your votes. I don't know that I did. Does anyone here like to make a public comment on this item? Seeing none?
Motion second. Okay. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. I think that takes us to the end of the agenda. Need a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m.
So moved.
Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.